Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is the 83rd Shabad from Gauri Gwareri Mahalla Panjama. And it is recited as follows. Gauri Gwareri Mahalla Panjama, Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai, Prabh Kirpa te Naam ਧਿਆਈਐ, Prabh Kirpa te Bandhan ਛੂਟੈ, Tau Kirpa te ਹਉਮੈ ਟੁਟੈ, Tum ਲਾਵੋ ਤਉ ਲਾਗਹਿ ਸੇਵ, ਹਮ ਤੇ ਕਛੂ ਨ ਹੋਵੈ ਦੇਵ ਰਹਾਉ, ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਤਾਂ ਗਾਵਾਂ ਬਾਣੀ, ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਤਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਵਖਾਣੀ, ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਇਆ, ਸਰਬ ਸੁਖਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੇਰੀ ਦਇਆ, ਜੋ ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਸੋ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਕਰਮਾ, ਜੋ ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਸੋ ਸੱਚ ਧਰਮਾ, ਸਰਬ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਗੁਣ ਤੁਮ ਹੀ ਪਾਸ, ਤੂੰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸੇਵਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ, ਮਨ ਤਨ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਹਰ ਰੰਗ, ਸਰਬ ਸੁਖਾਂ ਪਾਵੋਂ ਸਤ ਸੰਗ, ਨਾਮ ਤੇਰੇ ਰਹੇ ਮਨ ਰਾਤਾ, ਇਹੋ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਨਾਨਕ ਕਰ ਜਾਤਾ. The word that catches one's attention here is kalyan, which is ultimately the goal. Kalyan, often translated as auspicious or good fortune, but it is actually has a technical implication. It is used in various Indian religious traditions and refers to essentially 5 important occasions in life, in the life of a person. And these are conception, birth, initiation. Remember, initiation is a big part of the Indian lifestyle. Attainment and nirvana. And so the term here, kalyan, has been translated as emancipation, release from the bondage of the ego, because that, after all, is the central message of Sikhi as well. And we know that the gurus have used very freely terminology and terms from various traditions. And this is, in fact, I think, part of the beauty and part of the challenge of understanding Sikhi, because one has to be careful in not equating the meaning in exact terms. The Guru has used a term from prevalent traditions, but given it his own meaning, interpretation, color. So one has to be very watchful. So let's consider this Shabad that leads us to Kalyan. It starts by saying, Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai. So the way to emancipation. Prabh Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai, Prabh Kirpa te Naam ਧਿਆਈਐ, Prabh Kirpa te Bandhan ਛੁਟੈ, Tau Kirpa te ਹਉਮੈ ਟੁਟੈ. So the Guru has already stated at the very outset that there is a way, and that way involves Naam, self-knowledge, and that comes about through compassion, through the benevolence of the Satgur. Because here, the Guru in this passage uses Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai. So it's important to understand this is second person reference. Who is this second person reference signifying? Let's examine that for a minute. Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai. The way is found through your benevolence. Prabh Kirpa te naam te aiye. Self-knowledge arises within a mind through your benevolence, through the benevolent wisdom. Prabh Kirpa te bandhan chuta. Freedom from bondage is achieved through your benevolent wisdom. Tau kirpa te hau main tuta. The hold of the ego hau main is broken through your benevolence. So if you recall, in the previous Shabad that we considered, Guru Arjan spoke of the poisonous ego hau main based existence, halahal as it was referred to. That's the condition we're in. And the Guru stresses the need to escape such a fate. So in this verse, Guru Arjan is showing us how that is done. He refers to the benevolence and compassion of Tao. And so we have to figure out who is that Tao in this context. Because this kind of reference, second person reference, third person reference, is made very frequently in Gurbani. So we have to be very careful about the context. So this term is used for the Guru, it's used for herself, it is used for the Supreme Creator in different and often overlapping contexts. So you will see some of that overlap in this passage as well. So in this passage, because the context is to learn the way, Tau Kirpa te Marag Paieai. We are looking for a Marag. And so the Marag Drashta, so to speak, the giver of the way, has to be the teacher, the Satgur. So here Tau Kirpa refers to the benevolence of the Guru, the Shabad Guru, Gur wisdom, the Satgur. The Satgur, as in Gurbani, the text, or as in Guru Nanak, the historical being who was Satgur. So these nuances can be interesting and very useful and very informative, but the central idea is fairly simple. One needs an inspired teacher to guide us, and that is what Guru Arjan is trying to emphasize. Because in the Rahau, he continues by saying, Tum lavo, ton lagon save. Hum te kachu na hove dev. Dev, O enlightened one, hum te kachu na hove. There's nothing that I can do. I really do not have the power or capacity to dissolve my own ego. Tum lavo. Only you can motivate us. Only you can inspire us. So please give us that motivation. Give us that inspiration. That is what is being asked for in the Rahau. And then this theme continues. It goes on with recurring Tud Pave, Tud Pave, Tud Pave Tam. That's the beauty of this composition. Tud pave ta gama bani, tud pave ta sach vakhani. This is what happens. It is at your pleasure, the pleasure of the Guru, that I sing inspired speech. Bani. Bani is the inspired speech of the Guru, or the Gur. It's Gur wisdom. So it is at the pleasure of the Master, the Guru, that one is even able to utter that speech. It is at your pleasure, the Guru says, that I utter and perceive the self. Sach vakhani. Sach, of course, refers to the self, the essence. Tud paveta Satgur Maya. Satgur refers both to, and could refer to a person, to a text, as in Guru Granth Sahib, but also refers to a principle, the principle of knowledge. So the Guru here is using it in multiple ways. He's saying, Tud Pave, Tud meaning, O Guru, O Satguru, it is through you that the mercy of Satgur is given to me. And Satgur here is that principle, that knowledge principle, that wisdom comes to me. Sarab sukha prabh teri daya. Daya, compassion. Sarab sukha. It is your compassion that I have received the blissful wisdom. Sarab sukha. That wisdom that gives me sarab sukh. Finding that wisdom, all happiness has come to me, or the absence of happiness is not felt. And in verse 3, it continues in the same vein. Jo tud pave so nirmal karma, jo tud pave so sach dharma, sarab nidhan gun tum hi passe, tu sahib sevak ardas. Here, Guru Arjan is speaking about, first he speaks about access to that wisdom, to that inspired speech, access to the presence of the self. And here he's talking about the implications in one's life. One's karam, one's deeds become free of the ego. What does that mean? It means that one is now acting dispassionately. And he says, and I'll translate, pristine, free of impurity are those deeds that harmonize with your will. Tuddh pave. Here he has switched to harmony with the will, with the divine will, with the law, living in accordance with the environment, in harmony with the environment. So our actions and deeds become harmonious. So true dharma, which is way of life, is that which conforms with your will. Jo tuddh pave so sach dharma. It follows, if your actions are pristine, pure, you are in harmony. Sarab nidhan gun tum hi passe. You are the treasury of all virtue, all qualities. Tu sahib sevak ardas. You are the master, and I am your servant. To you I pray. This is Guru Arjan instructing us on what we need to do to find emancipation. And he concludes by saying, Man tan nirmal hue hari rang. My mind, body was made pure in love of the Har Self. Sarab sukha pao sat sang. It was in the presence of the truth, which here means the essence, the self, that I found all happiness. Namme tere rahe man rata. My mind is now absorbed in self-knowledge. Ehe kalyan nanak kar jata. If you recall, we spoke about kalyan in the beginning, emancipation. Nanak says, I found emancipation in self-knowledge that was given to me by the Satguru, by the Master, the Guru. That really is how the cycle works. And until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.